dog franchise originated in the year 2000 in Japan as a collection of postcards and calendars, featuring dogs photographed with a fisheye lens to create that iconic huge head, tiny body look. Interestingly, the photographer behind this is completely anonymous, nobody knows who they are. The franchise made its way out of Asia in 2003 when its rights were bought out by 4Kids Entertainment, who you may know for dubbing anime to release it to the West, including the first few series of Pokemon. Unlike a lot of the franchises I cover in my videos, the dog is still going strong and releasing merch to this day, including many 2026 calendars for every dog breed you could think of, dog Labubu's, and a collab line of dog treats. They even featured in McDonald's Happy Meals about 6 months ago in China. And on today's episode of I Have a Weirdly Specific Pair of Earrings to match every single topic I ever cover, it's the Dog Island for the Wii, of course. So let's take a look into anything and everything to do with this charming little franchise. From merch to bootlegs to charity work to the darkest kids game of all time. Besides the McDonald's collab, which we'll get onto later, the Dog magazine was one of its most iconic pieces of merch. It was published by Eagle Moss and each issue was centric around a certain dog breed, coming with a collectible plush of them. I think my favourite thing about these plushies is the fact that their dog tags represented their breed classification. So a heart tag for toy breeds, a star for utility dogs, a bone for gun dogs, a paw print tag for terriers, a round tag for hound dogs, and a kennel tag for working dogs. I couldn't find the exact number of issues, but I know the first one was King Charles Cavalier Spaniel themed. If you go onto the Internet Archive for the Dog Collection Shop website, there's the option to backorder copies from 1 to 80. Which obviously you can't do anymore, it's the Internet Archive, but this suggests the existence of at least 80. But some special editions are known to exist, like the Mutt specials and holiday ones, which would make the total possibly 84. However, some issues, especially the later ones, have no online documentation, and it's actually unknown even what dogs some issues were about, making the Dog magazine considered to be lost media by some Reddit users. So if you happen to own any of these magazines, have a dig around in your collection, post them on the internet, I don't know. Because of the success of the Dog magazine, a cat magazine was also released with a similar concept, each issue focusing on a different cat breed or colour and containing a matching plushie. Something that differentiates the cat magazine from the Dog magazine is the fact that each cat was given a name. In my opinion, the cats weren't as iconic because they didn't really capture that fisheye lens giant nose look, rather just looking like pretty regular cat plushies. Still cute though. McDonald's can be accredited to a lot of the dog's success, as its multiple features in Happy Meals over the years introduced it to a wider audience. Plushies of different dog breeds were available in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008 and 2025 based on the very little information I could find. Sorry for the switch in audio and visual quality here. I got a new camera, it's not being my friend right now. I can't really figure it out and it makes my head kind of look like an egg. In 2003 in Japan, dog plushies were available in Happy Meals holding a box of fries, marking what was probably the first of many Happy Meal releases, or at least the first one that I could find. The iconic original 2004 USA release featured a Golden Retriever, Dachshund, Dalmatian, Pug, Black Labrador, Beagle, Bull Terrier, Cocker Spaniel, Miniature Schnauzer, Siberian Husky, West Highland Terrier and German Shepherd. According to this promotional image, the campaign ran from the 2nd to the 29th of April 2004. There was also a TV advert aired showing girls with backpacks covered in the dog toys, and it also shows the Happy Meal box design. There was also a South American release later in 2004 with this advert airing in November. In 2005, in the USA, both the dog and the cat toys were released together in Happy Meals, and this ran from April the 15th to May the 12th according to this image. I found both a US and a UK TV advert for 2005, however the UK one showed some of the dogs from the 2004 US release, and no cats, so they weren't the same toys but they were going on at similar times. I found an image of a leaflet for a 2006 The Dog release from the 5th to 25th of July, with 4 different dogs featuring each week out of the 3. Whilst I can't be entirely sure, I found a listing of this collection shipping from the UK, so this was presumably a UK release based on that. For 2007, I found what sounds like a Spanish advert for Happy Meals that could come with either the dog toy plushie or a Flywheels toy. In 2008, the dog had another UK release with a claymation advert depicting dogs in space. The design of the Happy Meal box is especially notable for this release as it had a door you could pop out from the box to turn it into a doghouse. Rather than laying down like previous releases, these dog plushies sat up on their hind legs. Also, apparently the dogs in the advert are called Josh and Timmy. And finally, in 2025, big time skip, I know, the dog Happy Meals were released in China. This promotion ran over 4 weeks, with each week having 4 dogs and an accessory available, such as a bag or dog bed. They also had the dog branded packaging on drinks and a chicken bucket. This segment may not be 100% accurate as I've pieced everything together entirely based off of advertising material, so I may have missed a few releases in like certain countries, so feel free to comment if you have anything to add. Whilst they were never as iconic as the dog, the franchise branched out to merchandise of other animals including cats, pigs, rabbits, ducks, hamsters, and birds. And I bring this up because as a kid I was actually more invested in the other animals. I actually used to be terrified of dogs. But in terms of merch, I have the pig book and the cat book somewhere behind there, but I'm not destroying my whole shelf to find it. But yeah, I think pigs were a really fun choice for this collection because they look so silly with the huge snouts. I did have some of the dog McDonald's plushies, but I remember selling them like pretty soon after I got them. I'm sorry I didn't appreciate you dogs. I also wanted to specifically bring attention to the bird because merch of it is near impossible to find. If you have any bird merch, show me please. All I could find was an eBay listing for a calendar and a promotional image with some products like pouches, but any physical version of these are nowhere to be seen. And maybe that's a good thing because my bank account would be in danger. They released a 2026 calendar for every single one of these animals except the bird, which is especially annoying because I've been looking for a parrot calendar that isn't all macaws, to no avail. The profits from the dog franchise were often used to support dogs in real life, which is so sweet. There's a charity cause run by the company called Save the Dog Project, meaning a portion of profits from the dog merch is donated to animal rescues. They also opened a travelling dog grooming wagon, which is reservation only and designed for people with certain accessibility needs that don't allow them to travel to get their dog groomed. The profits of this then also go to animal shelters. They started a business known as Paws Memory to help pet owners navigate the cremations and funerals of their pets. I think the website is really sweet, like they sell full-on funeral services and flowers like you would do for a person. Normalize this, honestly. But yeah, I think it's so special that this brand is so much more than just a merch line and that it is made out of such a passion for dogs and their well-being. And I just think that shouldn't go underappreciated. The dog has potentially 4 video games, one of which being Lost Media, and 2 that were Japan-only releases. And strap in for that 3rd game, because it is crazy. The Dog Master is a puzzle and trivia game released in 2003 for the original PlayStation. It contains trivia and quiz questions about dogs, fact files about different dog breeds, and a few minigames. The game has these 2 anthropomorphic dog mascots, which I love. They remind me of Animal Crossing. The Dog Happy Life was released in 2006 for the PSP. This game is a life sim and quite closely resembles Nintendogs, but with a heavier focus on dressing up the dogs and taking photos of them. There was even a McDonald's special edition of the game released with McDonald's outfits. This brings me great joy. When you hear the name The Dog Island, what do you think that entails? You might be picturing a cozy pet simulator game like Nintendogs but set on a tropical island. Nuh-uh, this game is so dark. The Dog Island was released for both the Wii and the PlayStation in 2007. I'm going to recap the plot, so if you don't want any spoilers, skip to the timestamp on the screen. The game starts by letting you choose the dog breed you want to play as. You live with your mother and younger sibling, who has some type of illness that prevents them from going out and living a normal life. Your father went out in search for a cure and never returned. Implied to have died. May I remind you that the age rating for this game is E for everyone. He does actually return in the post-credits scene, but it's framed as like a huge surprise. I'm glad I was never a child having to comprehend the idea of death for the first time because of a game about cute puppies. Near the start of the game, you attend a festival. Your sibling isn't allowed to come because of their illness, but desperately wants to, so they sneak out but end up collapsing in the town square in an incredibly sad, fully animated cutscene. This motivates you, the player, to follow in your father's footsteps and venture out to find the cure. When presenting this idea to your family, they're incredibly concerned and essentially fear for your life because you have to sail in dangerous seas, but you still decide to go. And the thing about this is that the game is insanely difficult, so a lot of players have never actually managed to return home and save their sibling, which creates this kind of guilt for not being able to complete the game, which sometimes just pops into my head whilst I'm trying to sleep, that my fictional dog family doesn't know that I'm alive and well. I don't know about the PS2 version, but the Wii version has incredibly difficult controls. I kind of have to play it in like half-an-hour intervals before my wrist is in so much pain I can't go on, because to control your dog you have to pretty much permanently hold your Wiimote up in front of you. And I'm low-key tempted to get a PS2 just to be able to play this without putting myself in severe physical pain. The actual mechanics are really unique and immersive. For example, you have to sniff and find and dig up items like a real dog. Whilst the people I've spoken to who played as a child did find it very disturbing, as someone who played it for the first time as an adult, I think I can appreciate it more. It is a very creative game concept, the dogs are adorable, the open world is gorgeous, the writing and lore is great. The controls are horse shit, I have nothing good to say about those though. I do think the E for Everyone rating is inappropriate though. I'm not like a rating expert or whatever, but I have spoken to multiple people who've played it as children and they all found it genuinely distressing. I think it's a masterpiece, just a masterpiece that shouldn't have been geared at children who can't comprehend death yet. Again, if the implied death of your father and the looming demise of your sibling if you don't hurry up and find that cure weren't enough, there's also a scene where the doctor takes you to their friend's grave, explaining the parallels between said dead friend and your sibling. Cause, you know, just the implication that they're severely ill isn't spelling it out clear enough. Also, did I mention that there are ghosts? If I haven't made it clear enough already, I do adore this game. I think the writing is incredible, but I just cannot fathom why it was geared towards young children. Such a fever dream of a game, honestly. Okay, so the reason I said that there were potentially full games is the fact that a lost media flash game known as The Dog World is most likely connected to this franchise, but it's not confirmed. The URL was dogfan.scholastic.com, so the fact that Scholastic was the publisher of the dog-themed books means this game is probably a fourth existing game. Reddit user There's a Cat in My Box posted on the Lost Media wiki that it was a simple pet care game resembling a lower quality Nintendogs. One user in the comments provides a Wayback Machine link which shows that somewhere between 2010 and 2011 the Dog World was shut down, displaying this message on the website. Thank you for visiting the Dog World. The Dog World has closed, but the fun doesn't have to stop. You can use your Dog World login to enter a whole new world, The Stacks, Scholastic's site for kids. You have instant access to your profile, features and games. Just use your Dog World username and password. The user states that beside this they have no evidence of the game existing, not a single photo or recording of the game, nothing. So if you have any information on this, please share it. YouTube can work absolute wonders when it comes to finding lost media, and I really hope I can play a part in that because I'm really interested to see this game found, or at least just like a photo or recording of it. Okay, bulk of the video here, the merch. Because I can guarantee you if a product exists, it had one of these dogs slapped on it and I ate it up every time. Like many franchises, the dog collabed with Monopoly. The playing pieces include a little dog, a bowl, a doghouse, a bone, a fire hydrant and another dog. Instead of properties, there are dogs on the board. I don't know what else to say, it's Monopoly. The dog as a brand found its footing with calendars and it's still one of their most popular products to this day. There are calendars for all the other animals' Artlist photographs like cats and pigs, general dog calendars as well as breed-specific ones. They've produced calendars every single year since 2000 and don't seem like they plan on stopping anytime soon. Little dog keychain danglers and phone charms existed, but I think my absolute favourite thing about them is the fact that they're packaged like different types of candy. I think that's so fun. Like nearly every franchise, let's be real, there was the dog edition of Top Trumps. There are a total of 30 playable cards and 1 title card, with each game card having a different dog breed ranked by average weight, average height, guard dog skill, rarity, and lovability. And I don't know how you could possibly rank the lovability of these dogs anything below maximum, like I'm offended. Cha Cha Dog Treat Station, also known as Cha Cha Shinshu, is a premium dog treat brand that works with the dog to make high-class fancy treats for dogs out of venison. They currently have venison tripe, jerky, and femur bones. I don't know, I just find that an interesting path for the dog to go down, because I'm just scrolling through these cute plushies and calendars and wham, they've killed Bambi. They also collabed with a different pet goods store known as Freebie for a wider variety of quite unique treats like potato cubes and goat milk balls, as well as some illustrated merchandise like stickers and keychains. Sort of like Chloris Creates type beat, where you have different breed designs and then different colours you can choose from and you're encouraged to find your own pet. Scholastic has released many books themed around the dog, including The Dog, Best in Show, which contains information on different dog breeds, the Happy Holiday book, a holiday-themed activity book with stickers and fun facts, to name a few things, The Dog Guide to Life. I couldn't actually find out what this was about because the only synopsis I found for this book just said Nan. There's a book about measurements called Is a Paw a Foot? And numerous storybooks about heroic dogs including Lab to the Rescue, Firefighter Dog, and Water Dog Hero. They also created like book adjacent sort of products like journals and a poster book. Like a lot of franchises in the 2000s, The Dog released a sticker album with collectible sticker packs to add to it. I feel like sticker albums are kind of a lost art, they were so fun. Let me know if you want me to make like a longer video on those. There were 50 breeds to collect stickers of, and a lot of them came in like multiple pieces, so you get a sticker of like half a dog. Good incentive to collect more, I guess. I wouldn't want the dogs to be headless. The dog holiday ornament sets were released with one including a Dalmatian in a Christmas present, a Beagle, a Bulldog, a Dachshund with a candy cane, and a black dog with Christmas lights around its collar. And there's a second similar set with a pug that I am going to see in my nightmares tonight. Out of all of the merch I've looked through for this video, this was definitely the one I was tempted to buy the most. I have a little collection of cursed Christmas ornaments. Luigi goes front and centre on the tree every year, as he should. There were also baubles and individual bigger ornaments available like bobbleheads. And other merch includes egg cups, stationery sets, socks with little dog heads, a flower pot, VHS tapes, slippers, a talking coin bank, dominoes, bedsheets, backpacks and plasters, just to name a few. There were also 2 The Dog 3DS home screen themes available exclusively in Japan, and even the bird one, potentially more for the other animals. I think if you want to get into collecting the dog merchandise, the prices are very varied. The magazines and plushies can be very cheap, but more niche merch can go for hundreds, especially if it's new in box. The dog bootlegs do exist, and I know how much you guys love bootlegs. So despite the very little information available, I thought I'd try and put together a list of possible dog bootlegs. There is a dog interactive Rottweiler plush play-along toy which makes sounds and wags its tail, but a bootleg of this plush emerged for sale in Chile. There's a brand called Hanedeka Club, known in English as Animal Paradise, which I originally thought was just the Japanese name for the dog, but they're actually 2 completely different things. Hanedeka Club was actually relatively successful, even getting its own DS game. The Hanedeka plushies look very similar to the dog ones, but they're not necessarily considered bootlegs. I'll let you form your own opinions on that one. One thing I found interesting though was that some of the plushies had to be recalled. In 2010, a Hanedeka chocolate egg and plush set had to be recalled as specifically the Beagle and All Tan dog posed a choking hazard to children. Now this is where things get confusing. There is a separate unrelated company that makes near identical bootlegs of the cat and the dog plushies but uses the Hanedeka name on the label, essentially framing Hanedeka as bootleggers when that isn't necessarily the case. Hi, I'm editing, but I really wish I went into more depth on Hanedeka Club. You know, I was talking earlier about how I had a cat book. Yeah, that was Hanedeka, that wasn't the cat. So it feels like it was almost more common over here than the dog ever was. Yeah, I think that's really interesting how two like nearly identical brands can just like coexist and like not have a problem with each other. There's also a toy line called Head First Big Dog that makes plushies that very closely resemble the dog, just without the dopey kind of lidded eyes look. Again, it's kind of debatable whether these count as a bootleg or not. They were released around 2002 before the dog really made its way over to the West. And whilst we all know that the most innovative business model is to watch what Japan does and then steal it, these brands could be completely unrelated. The commercials for the dog merch are very iconic and often circulate on nostalgia pages and even as memes. And even if it seems a little bit lazy, I think it's worth just playing these commercials and letting them speak for themselves.
What kind of dog is that?
The dog!
Little buddy!
Huge head! The dog! Enough said! The dog!
Hangs in my bed!
The dog!
This one's Fred! So many, so cool! Little buddy!
Huge head! The dog!
You can't help but love the dog! So many, so fun! Each with a little body, huge head! Beagles, bulldogs, basset hounds, even one that barks and wags his tail around! Little buddy!
Huge head! The dog! Enough said!
The dog, the original, so many different kinds. Some bark and wag their tails, each sold separately.
I'm loving it. It's a dog's life. It's a one of a kind. You got your dog. I got mine. I'm loving it. I'll teach her tricks. I'll make her heel. I'll even share my happy meal. I'm loving it.
The dog is at McDonald's. They're cuddly, collectible, and now there's one in every Happy Meal.
McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Give a dog a home. The coolest dogs and tasty food now at McDonald's. One with every Happy Meal. It's why they're called Happy Meals.
El cocker. O el pastor. Aquí está. El ganador. Me encanta. McDonald's. Y mis amigos campeones son mis perritos de dog. Pequeñitos, bonitos y super cabezones. Y ahora tengo unos amigos en McDonald's. Mi conejito feliz. Me encanta todo eso.
So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and learnt some fun or not so fun facts about the dog. I think it's so interesting how the dog evolved from just a collection of postcards and calendars to a worldwide craze. Not many companies can boast that they've been successfully selling the same merch for 26 years, whilst also still upholding so many charity efforts. Who knows, maybe if you want to start a business, that's something that can inspire you. Anything can become popular, no matter how simple. But hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Feel free to like and subscribe and check out my Patreon if you enjoyed, and bye bye!